Well, back in, I guess it was in maybe 1990, I was making, or attempting to make, abstract paintings, which had a real emphasis on surface treatment. And I was mixing paint with sand and incorporating roofing paper onto the surface. Various constructional materials I was incorporating into the surface, and then at one point I stapled a sweater onto a painting and looked at it, and it was so, the sweater in its own right was so self-contained that I couldn't get past just focusing only on the sweater. You know, it was like its own entity. You know, and it was kind of running indirectly to what was going on in the overall composition. So at that stage I started thinking about what that meant as a figure. You know, the sweater not having a head or hands, but still representing a figure. And so I started this in a very kind of allegoric way, using clothing that represented figures that would articulate or speak to a certain scenario, sometimes humorous, sometimes not, and for the most part, you know, the initiation of using clothing was, you know, formatting the clothing pieces into figurations and using this idea as the figure as speaking, using the figure as a narrative. And it wasn't until I moved to San Diego, and I was kind of disoriented at that stage, you know, being uprooted and moving here, and trying to redefine where I was at within the space and the culture and everything. I found myself somewhat suspended in that respect, not knowing, you know, or having any kind of identity to place. And that's where it really happened with me, taking the clothing and in a very non-objective way, bunching it up and moving it into more non-objective area. Was really, you know, reflective of my own state of mind at the time, in the sense of place. And from that point on, the work became more abstracted.